We welcome back Food Network star and cookbook author Trace Barnett, who is here today with a tasty way to add a seasonal touch to mac and cheese. All right, so one thing I can see, I understand this.
You're a little doubtful.
I'm a little doubtful on this apple part.
It never doubt me. You know, we've done some weird recipes when you've been in the kitchen with me, and they're always good.
Exactly.
And what I love about this recipe is it's a one-pot dish, super comfort food. It's wonderful for the cold weather months, and it's very affordable, and it feeds a lot of people too.
All right, good.
And one thing I love about it is you can kind of adjust the amount. So if you need to increase it for a large crowd or decrease, you can totally do that too.
Okay.
So what we've done to get started is we've went ahead and boiled down 1.5 pounds of elbow pasta, and you can use any kind of pasta you want. You can use orecchiette, you can use the shells, whatever pasta choice you want. And then we've browned up 1 pound of sausage. I've half the recipe for us today, but we've browned 1 pound of sausage, and I use mild. Of course, if you want to increase the heat, you can always add a little bit more heat there.
Okay.
And we've also sauteed that sausage with onion, 1 apple, with a little fresh sage and a little fresh thyme.
Okay.
And what that does is I love to mimic. So sausage has that wonderful sage herb flavor to it. So I kind of want to bring that into our mac and cheese too.
Okay.
So drain your mac and cheese and reserve 1 cup to 2 cups of the pasta water. So what I do is when I'm cooking pasta that I know I'm going to use the water, I'll add in salt, a little butter, and I also add in a little olive oil just to make sure it has a little bit of flavor. So return that, drain your pasta, and return it to the pot. And what you're going to do there is I'm going to get you to pour in. So this is what I do is I combine 1 cup of cream, I combine our pasta water, and then I also combine a little bit of flour just to thicken this up a bit. And if you'll go ahead and add that in there, that would be perfect. I just found him not at a yard sale for like $1. I was like, he's got to come on Talk the Town with me. That'll be absolutely perfect. And initially, it's going to look like a good bit of liquid, but when we start adding our cheese, it's going to get really ooey gooey.
I gotcha.
So to that, let's go ahead and add a little bit of white cheddar. And I love using a white cheddar with this because I think it really complements the apple, and I think it also complements the sausage.
And you want to save a little bit for the topping.
And save a little bit for the topping, yes. And then I'm going to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese in there, and then we are going to add a little bit of Gruyere and Gouda. So one of my favorite combinations.
Tell me the other one. I've not heard of the other one. Gruyere?
Gruyere. Yeah, and Gruyere is wonderful. It has a really good cheesy flavor, really earthy, and I think it really combines well with the sausage flavor. And if you had a question about the apple earlier, what it does is the apple almost gets really soft and cooks down. So you have that really good savory sausage flavor, and then every now and then you hit that little sweet of that apple, and it's wonderful.
So what kind of apple do you like to use then for this?
That's a good question. So I usually tend to go on the sweeter side of the apples when I'm doing this mac and cheese. Of course, you can use any kind that you have on hand. I'm using Gala apples today. A Gala Red Delicious, anything like that. I love the sweet flavor in this, just so it retains the sweetness as we cook it. So we're going to cook this down. You want to cook this over a low heat, probably around 3 to 5 minutes until all the cheese is melted. Be sure and stir that. You don't want that to stick. And if you use cast iron or a cast iron Dutch oven like I'm using here, you can just go ahead and take your cheese that we've reserved for the top, sprinkle that on top, a little extra salt and pepper, and you can just pop that in a 350, 375 oven, and just let that get really nice and bubbly, and so the cheese browns on top.
Super. And it's one of the recipes in your cookbook, right?
It sure is. It's in our early fall section, just when apples start coming in, so it's right in the perfect season.
All right, you'll find today's recipe in the Talk of the Town section at newschannel5.com or in the cookbook there, Tracing Roots. As always, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much, Leland.